Hello. I have not done any preparation apart from some of the stories I saved last week. I've not looked at the news. It's depressing. It's depressing for the... it's just people are being killed, women and children are being killed in Ukraine by Russian troops, and it's come out again. More Russian prisoners have told how they've been lied to by their bosses, saying they were liberating Ukraine from the Nazis, because that's the narrative, isn't it? And that's that's one that the left likes to push. Everyone's a Nazi. Meanwhile, the UK have revealed only 15 Ukrainian refugees have been given UK visas. I'm in two minds, Women and children first, obviously, right? Because a lot of the men are staying back and fighting. And also, I'm the optimist. I like to think, wouldn't it be great if this was over in a week, and then it would make more sense for them to be in the surrounding countries, and then they can get back to their own homes ASAP. However, I don't think this is going to stop anytime soon. So we need to pull our weight on this. But again, it's the logistics of it. Those surrounding Eastern European countries are obviously a lot closer than we are. And you've got the whole logistical issue of getting people from wherever, from Ukraine to the UK. I guess we'd have to jet them out, wouldn't we? It's just complicated, but we're not doing a good job here, are we? We're not really doing a good job, especially when many Ukraine people have families here. They should be instantly waved through if they've got relations that can take them in. And again, you don't have the language barrier necessarily. Meanwhile, this is interesting. This is footage that's emerged from Sergei Sizilev, governor of the Kuzbas region in Siberia. He was talking to a group of mothers, and let's pull up the footage. Here he is talking, right? He's going blah 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 blah, and he lets it slip. He appears to let slip that that they were sent to Ukraine basically for being cannon fodder. The mothers go, what? They were used. They used our children. Again, maybe it was a slip of the tongue. Maybe it was Freudian. Who knows? But it's not looking good. And then the harsh reality, the people that are left behind in Ukraine is they're taking refuge in their basements, and But this is the price of war. This is what happens when bad men do bad things. Is good people suffer. And we're not going to see. I guess we're not going to see the end of it, are we? Until the head is cut off of the snake. Meanwhile, we're doing employment tribunal news. This is the story of Edward Chandraharan. Here he is. He looks like a happy chap, but he's currently going through an employment tribunal. He was a senior NHS consultant. He was, again, I don't know how Edwin even thinks he can fight this employment tribunal, because there's a lot going on here. He's a gynecologist, so you instantly know where we're going with this story. He's a gynecologist, and he was sacked because him and a junior doctor had an incident in a hotel room. He referred to the young medic, known as WX, in this tribunal. He referred to himself and the young medic as commander and commandee. I don't like where this is going. And whilst they were at a conference, he said he was offering her some special training. Coercive behaviour. So yeah, special training. Gynecologist, special training. Apparently he was testing her and she got a question wrong. So he demanded the trainee take her clothes off and look into her mirror as punishment. Because her mistake could mean someone would die. Gets better. He encouraged the junior doctor to let him give her a special massage. Special massage, because he'd get to achieve an orgasm merely by touching her back. Them some serious skills. He was sacked from St George's University Hospital, where he'd worked for 15 years as a doctor in charge of a labour ward. He was sacked in February 2020, and he's tried to sue the trust, claiming he was unfairly dismissed and racially discriminated against because he was Asian. No, it's because you're a dirty pervert. He even threatened to sue the junior doctor for defamation and was looking for £2 million in damages. And thankfully, the employment judge, Tony Hyams Parish, dismissed the doctor's claims of unfair dismissal and race discrimination. Let's look at his stupid face again. Look at his stupid, perverted face again. Look at him. I'm a stupid pervert. That's not me, him. Look at him. What an arsehole. You're an arsehole. I know. I'm going to sue everyone. Because, getting people to strip off and wanting to give them a special massage, talking about orgasms, that's not weird, is it? Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Meanwhile, COVID. Who wants some COVID? China records its biggest number of COVID cases of 2 years. How many? How many, Darren? Thousands? No, 526. And 316 of those were asymptomatic. Woohoo. Yeah, it's blown itself out, hasn't it, really? Got a story about caffeine drinks. We've kind of done that. Did you want to do that? Because this is a sad story. This is a young lad, Jason Bartholomew. I really got the wrong teeth in today. Jason Bartholomew. He was 25 and he killed himself. And his father has come out and said, here he is with his dad, but his father has come out and said that when his marriage collapsed, he took to drinking many energy drinks, far too many. It was almost like an addiction. He describes it. It was a powerful addiction as crack, and he believes that this, had an effect on his mind and probably contributed, to his eventual suicide, because he slipped into depression. I tell you, I don't think the energy drink consumption really helped him. But yeah, again, and the father wants the drinks to be banned. I'm kind of that mind. I mean, I really don't understand why anyone would want to, drink this stuff. It's really no good for you, We talked about that fellow who killed himself with a caffeine overdose the other day, accidentally, didn't we? It was an appalling story. Let's see. Is there any other good stories? Shane Warne died, the cricketer. He died of a massive heart attack because he was on a liquid diet. He'd been on a 14-day liquid diet, and it's quite a notorious diet. Can actually contribute to heart failure, and unfortunately it got him. It's a great shame because he's one of those characters, Oh, here we go. Here's some footage from Russia. Anti-war demonstrators, they've been treating them really nicely. 5,000 more anti-war demonstrators in Russia are arrested. You need more. They can't arrest you all. Keep getting out on the streets to do those protests. And one chap, this 11-year-old boy, travelled all the way from Ukraine to Slovakian border. Right, he's 11 years old. Here's his picture. It was a 600-mile journey, all on his Todd, with just a phone number scrawled on his hand. Wow, this is what people are having to do because that arsehole Putin like I said, it's all a bit. Got to get some funnies in. Should we go for the funnies? Okay. Well, I've got some funnies left in the. This is the story of pensioner James Johnston. He's complaining. Why? Because he's got a luxury seafront at Bognor, and the 87-year-old has actually recently put his apartment up for sale, but he's having to knock 50k off the price because the council built a toilet in front of his neck, and everyone who's come there, all the visitors who've viewed the property, don't like the view of the toilets. And here he is, he's looking quite miserable. But, if you need a quick pee, if you need to spend a penny, they look quite luxurious. So I think really he's got it the wrong way around. He should, if you've got visitors over and you don't want to use your carsy, you can just send them over the road, couldn't you? I mean, he's not looking at it the right way. So yeah, Bognor Regis, I can't even be bothered. But yeah, he and the residents objected to the block, which is built by Arran District Council. But they said these are essential public facilities, even though people complained, and they've been built with full planning consent granted. There you go. I don't know. I think people complain too much, don't you? I mean, it's the seaside. That's the good thing about the seaside. There's always plenty of toilets. You can always spend a penny. No, all right then. just me then. Right, I'm going to go to my stored folder. This is the story of Gerard Graham, and he'd been released from prison. He's 31. He'd been released from Her Majesty's Prison, Grampian. 20 minutes. 20 minutes. He was released. He was wandering around, and here he is. He's a lovely looking chap. Here he is. There's Gerard. He was released from prison and stole a cab. To drive home because, that's what you do. But when he abandoned the minibus taxi from a petrol station in Peterhead because the driver, the owner, was filling up, when he dumped it, this is in October last year, he left his release papers on the passenger seat so they knew exactly who stole it, and they rounded him up and sent him back to prison. Hey, more criminals. Here's a lovely one. This is Narendra Gill. Let's look at her beautiful face. Here she is. She looks charming, doesn't she? Yeah. Anyway, she found herself in an awful lot of bother because she's a shopkeeper, and she decided at the GT News shop at White Rose Shopping Centre in Leeds to swindle an 81-year-old out of his Euro Millions prize. There's this ticket, the Euro Millions ticket, 130 grand winner. And she said to the owner, Frank Gowland, no, it's not a winner. You made a mistake, and tried to pocket it for herself. But she got found out because Frank wasn't having any of it. And he wanted his 5 winning numbers to pay up. So yeah, she's up before the beak, and in a lot of trouble. And since she did this, the newsagents where she worked is closed, or probably to do with I don't know. I imagine it's to do with the COVID and everything. But yeah. That's not good, is it? No, it's not good at all. Meanwhile, here's another pervert for you. We like our perverts. This is Jay Ali. Here he goes. He's a pervert. Look at him. Honest, Gov. I didn't mean to do it. Be careful when you hire out an Airbnb. You know, when you book an Airbnb, because Jay Ali, 54, at his Airbnb in Comfort in Texas, set up a hidden camera. He didn't. He did. Wasn't a security camera, because it was positioned in the bedroom. And he took 2,000 pictures and videos of guests having sex. That's nice. So it was the camera was made to look like a power adapter for a router. Here it is there. So you wouldn't necessarily look at it, but they recommend now, if you're staying at a hotel or Airbnb, to sweep the room for bugs, for cameras. Can you believe that? You actually have to sweep the room. That is the world we live in, because we have perverts like Mr. Ali. He'd been recording. When the police did their investigation, they found he'd been recording people for over a year, and there was a total of 2,100 photos and videos of people naked, half-dressed, and having sex. He's again a spokesman for Airbnb who want to distance themselves from such behaviour. Said the reported criminal behaviour of this bed and breakfast owner is outrageous, and he and his property are banned from Airbnb. Well, I'd like to think so, but there's an awful lot of this going on. It's a major problem now, because you can go on to, even Amazon and buy these little tiny cameras and fit them anywhere. I mean, usually, I've got one that I used to put on the end of my guitar, but I wouldn't fit it inside a bloody power adapter. My God. Some people, if they strung him up by his testicles, we wouldn't have this problem, would we? Now, I think I've probably scared everyone off in the chat. I'll have a little look just in case, but there's probably nobody there. Let's have a look. No, there's nobody there. There's nobody in the chat. Oh, yes, there is. Pegasus is in. Groove's cool. Alex says hello. Hello, Alex. Paul says good morning. I had a great weekend. It was a weekend. I wouldn't necessarily call it great. Just a weekend. Though I did win Board Game Saturday. My first win in 10 weeks. It's been hard. It's been hard for me. So it was, you're right. It was a great weekend. I had a great weekend. Hopefully you've enjoyed the news. If you haven't, it's not my fault. G-Man's in. He says, how do? It's not my fault the news wasn't that good, but there's a lot of war on at the moment. If you're lucky, I'll do a COVID story tomorrow. I've got another COVID story in the archive. I've still got quite a good. Yeah, I've got quite a few good stories in the folder for you to look at as well. Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed that. If you haven't, go for a walk. And good to see the Marillion review went down well. They accused me of such terrible, terrible things. And you know me, I'm not a bad person. And with that, there's only one thing I've to say, and it's drink it up, and we'll do this again tomorrow. Ta-ta.